At this time, I'll call to order the combined City of Joliet Pre-Council Council meeting for May 6th, 2025. Mayor Terry Darcy presiding. We'll start the meeting with Father Chris Groh, chaplain for the Joliet Police and Fire Departments. He will lead us in the invocation. Following his prayer, he will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Father?
Let us gather our thoughts and prayers as one. Almighty God, you generously bestow your gifts in abundance. We are most grateful for all that you continue to do for us and for the many favors you grant each day. We gather together in your name. We ask that you bring your enlightenment so that everything that is done this evening may begin with your inspiration and wisdom. God of wisdom and justice, through you all authority is administered, laws are enacted, and judgments are decreed. Give your guidance and support to our mayor, the members of our city council, our city manager, and our city staff. May they have the strength to know your will, so that all decisions may be done with a desire to please you in all things. May their work be conducted with righteousness, and may they always promote what is for the good and welfare of the citizens of Joliet. We likewise commend to your care all of the residents of the city, that they too may be blessed and sanctified. Together may we all work for the betterment of our community and enjoy the blessings promised to those who remain faithful to you. For we pray to you, our one and eternal God, forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy?
Here.
Councilman Cardenas?
Here.
Councilman Clement?
Here.
Councilman Hug?
Here.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Here.
Councilman Moreno?
Here.
Councilman Mudrin?
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Here.
Next is a presentation for the annual update on historic preservation activities, projects, and initiatives presented by City Planner Jane Bernhardt.
Before Jane gets going, I'd like to make a comment, please. Beth Beatty has a family emergency that started on Sunday. She was sorry to have missed last night, and she's sorry to miss tonight, but her family needs her right now, so that's why she is not present last night or tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jane Bernhardt, and I am one of the city planners here at the City of Joliet. And I serve as staff liaison to the city's Historic Preservation Commission. And I'm here tonight to give an update on major initiatives that staff and the city's Historic Preservation Commission are working on to promote our city's heritage and recognize our meaningful places. In May is National Historic Preservation Month, and under tie-in about why I'm here. And also on the agenda tonight are a couple of other historic preservation related items, including the acceptance of the 2024 annual report of the Historic Preservation Commission. So I want to launch this presentation with a quick overview of historic preservation as a function of local government here in Joliet. The City Council in 1990 determined it necessary to preserve buildings, structures, and sites of historical significance and architectural significance, noting that these buildings, structures, and sites are important cultural, educational, and economic assets of the City of Joliet, and the character of the neighborhoods in which they are located should not be lost through inappropriate expansion, alteration, or change of use or appearance. The 1990 Historic Preservation Ordinance established procedures and regulations for the designation of local landmarks in historic districts, and also authorized the creation of the Historic Preservation Commission. The house on your screen is the Joseph Campbell House, completed in 1845. That was one of the first designations in 1991 with that ordinance. One of the more recent designations is the former Richard Street Methodist Church, which is a Romanesque Bible style church. It is now the home of Christ Temple Apostolic Faith Church. Also in 1990, the ordinance established policies and procedures to ensure that the historic integrity of these designated properties are being protected. Staff and the commission, for certain cases, review certificates of appropriateness applications, which are essentially pre-building permits, to make sure the work that is being proposed is appropriate. The commission reviewed 4 certificate of appropriateness applications in 2024, with this new garage at 610 Western Avenue being one of them. And then in addition to that, staff does conduct administrative reviews, and I did 22 administrative reviews last year, including 575 East Jackson Street, which we know is the Cassidy House, and 900 North Rainer Avenue. Now I want to highlight the major projects that city staff and the commission have been overseeing over the last year, some of which have been recently completed. And before I do this, I want to point out that the City of Joliet, by having a qualified Historic Preservation Commission, an effective historic preservation ordinance, and an inventory of our historic resources, we have been certified by the state of Illinois as a certified local government, which makes the city eligible for state and federal preservation-related grant funding opportunities. The Railroad Museum. The Railroad Museum opened in May of last year after over 10 years of effort and dedication by various city staff, state and federal partners, and the Joliet Area Historical Museum. The Railroad Museum is housed in the former Union Depot Tower, which is located within our Gateway Transportation Center train station, and it's open from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This project received funding through the state's Certified Local Government Grant Program, as well as the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Route 66 grant program. In October of last year, the city and community partners gathered to rededicate Route 66 Park at the Broadway Street Greenway. New interpretive signs on Joliet's history went in, as well as new signs for the Rich and Creamy ice cream stand. There is also fun selfie opportunities in front of the giant neon Route 66 shield and greetings from Joliet postcard. All of these enhancements were made possible through a Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Route 66 grant. The city received CLG, again, Certified Local Government Grant funding in 2024 to fund a historic context study that documents the history and culture of the Joliet area Black community. And then we received notice about 2 months ago that we received another award under the latest CLG grant funding round to fund oral histories in conjunction with this overall project. And that grant agreement is on your agenda tonight as well. As part of the ongoing Joliet Area African American Historic Context Study project, community members are encouraged to come to one or more upcoming community interview events to share information that they may have on places, people, events, and time periods that are important to understanding the region's Black history. On the screen before you is a flyer outlining when this event is to occur. It's going to happen on Saturday, May 17th, Saturday, June 21st, and Saturday, July 19th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Bicentennial Park. Back by popular demand is the Joliet Area Historical Museum, and in partnership with the Historic Preservation Commission, we are offering a special thematic motor coach tour on Saturday, May 31st, entitled Stone and Steeples, and this will showcase 4 historic Joliet limestone buildings as well as the St. John's neighborhood. And this tour builds on grant-funded research completed during the St. John's Historic Resource Survey project, which was overseen by the City of Joliet's Historic Preservation Commission. We take the opportunity in May to highlight how our diverse, distinctive, and historic buildings, structures, and neighborhoods play an important role in our overall efforts to maintain an interesting, vibrant, and authentic city with our Places Matter Facebook campaign, which occurs daily. And I want to close by mentioning that there are a variety sources of information on the city's historic preservation webpage on the city's website, such as National Register nominations, survey reports, such as the St. John's Neighborhood Historic Resource Survey. We have an interactive mapping online database of our historic resources. There are the Historic Residential and Commercial Design Guidelines Manual, and also information on how to navigate the building permit process for designated historic properties. So I want to thank you for allowing me to share my enthusiasm and other staff's enthusiasm, as well as the Preservation Commission's enthusiasm for our meaningful places in the city of Joliet. We have a couple commissioners here tonight. And last year was a busy year, and this year is shaping up to be one as well. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Jane.
Under Mayor is a proclamation for Historical Preservation Month for the Patrick C. Haley Mansion.
City of Joliet proclamation. Whereas, in celebration of Historic Preservation Month, the City of Joliet wishes to recognize the Haley Mansion for their interior and exterior preservation work of the Patrick C. Haley Mansion at 17 South Center Street, which included a new roof, exterior stonework, and interior restoration. And whereas, renowned local architect Frank Shaver Allen designed the Richardsonian Romanesque style home for the Patrick C. Haley family, which was completed in 1893 after 2 years of construction. And whereas the Patrick C. Haley Mansion is an excellent example of the Richardsonian Romanesque revival style with its heavy and massive appearance utilizing the local Joliet limestone. Asymmetrical plan utilizing various roof shapes, including parapeted gables, prominent semicircular arches for window and door openings, and cylindrical towers of different height. And whereas the Haley Mansion, under the ownership of Jeff Bouchon, purchased the property in 1995 and has remained a committed partner to the neighborhood and city since then. And whereas the Haley Mansion suffered major fire damage to exterior and interior on February 1st, 2023, and whereas the Haley Mansion, in their work to reopen, engaged experienced craftsmen and employed thoughtful design in order to preserve the historic character of the building by February 2024. The Haley Mansion has reopened all floors of the building to guests. Now therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, and on behalf of the Joliet City Council and Joliet Historical Preservation Commission, extend our most sincere appreciation to the Haley Mansion as we present its 20th Annual Joliet Historical Preservation Award.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Jane, and her Preservation Committee. And, you know, I've got a really great team, and they all contributed. And we think it came out great. And you're all welcome to visit at any point in time. We'd love to show you around. All you have to do is drop in, and we'll give you a tour. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next proclamation for Historical Preservation Month is 900 North Rainer.
Gather around. All right, City of Joliet proclamation. Whereas in celebration of Historic Preservation Month, the City of Joliet wishes to recognize the homeowners of 900 North Rainer for their restoration of their front facade of their home after it suffered damage. And whereas the circa 1926 house at 900 North Rainer features the distinguishing characteristics of a classic craftsman-style brick bungalow with its three-season porch with decorative casement windows, decorative bricks, stylized brick patterns, and hip roof with dormers. And whereas on March 14, 2024, a car ran into the front facade of the 900 North Rainer, causing severe damage to the lower front facade as well as the front stairs. And whereas the homeowners worked with their contractor Timco and found a restoration solution that would match the brick type and pattern of the house. When the work was finished, the home at 900 North Rainier looks just as it did before the accident, maintaining its historic integrity as a sturdy century-old bungalow. Now therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council and Joliet Historic Preservation Commission, extend our most sincere appreciation to the homeowners of 900 North Rainier as we present the 20th Annual Joliet Historic Preservation Award.
Well, it was a hard time to look at our house like that. We didn't expect it to be that much damage, and I thank God that it wasn't a big structure damage that it had, but it was still our home. I'd also like to thank Timco because they did an awesome job. They were very patient with us and very, very intact as to how the house should look. And I'd like to thank you guys for this. I mean, we did it because it's our home, you know, and we wanted to keep it that way, and because, you know, it's our city, and this is part of it. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is a proclamation recognizing Grace Laird for her outstanding achievements in girls wrestling.
This young lady is Grace Laird. We're so proud of her. She is, we'll start this out and then I'll say a few words. Whereas Grace Laird is a 3-time state qualifier in wrestling and first-time state qualifier and first-time medalist in the Girls State Championship for Joliet Catholic Academy. Whereas she placed 3rd in the 130-pound weight class at the 2025 IHSA Girls State Championship for Joliet Catholic Academy. Where Grace is a member of the 2022 2A Dual Team State Championship, the first wrestling state championship in the school's record. She started wrestling her freshman year of high school while participating in Cleat Club, Habitat for Humanity, Your Book Club, sorry, National Honor Society, National Spanish Honor Society, National English Society, and MU Alpha Theta. Grace is an Illinois State Scholar, AP Scholar taking honors and advanced placement classes and securing a 4.9 grade point average. Now therefore I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby congratulate Grace Laird for her many wrestling and educational accomplishments, and is signed Terry Darcy, May 6, 2025. And I have to say, with all due respect to the wrestling team that came in first place, Grace was the only girl down there and she placed 3rd. And I thought, that's the first time that's ever happened. So I felt she needed recognition. So we're so proud of you. Did you want to say anything?
Well, thank you for this honor. I'm always proud and honored to represent Joliet and Joliet Catholic Academy, so thank you.
We're proud. And your dad's the coach, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for
Okay, you were thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Approval of agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Mayor, excuse me 1 minute. We should get a picture with Grace.
Yeah.
We forgot to do that. Before we get any further.
Motion carried.
Just come on up here. Where's our PR girl? There she is.
What about her mom?
If she wants to run.
Kind of.
Oh, we don't bring no cameras.
Yeah.
Come over this way.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. So this is time for anybody that wants to speak on anything on the agenda. Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to council committee reports. We have diversity and community relations.
Thank you. Yesterday, the City of Joliet Diversity and Community Relations Committee met yesterday at the in the executive conference room at 4:30. Present was Chairperson Cesar Guerrero, myself, and Councilwoman Suzanne Adbara. We approved the minutes from March 17th, 2025. There were no citizens to be heard on any agenda items. We had a presentation of the fiscal year 25 Community Development Block Grant, which is CDBG, that was given by Jacqueline Lozada. What I'm proud of is the three of us, this block grant, this is $919,000 that HUD issues to people in the community, organizations that can help their organization out. And the three of us made it a point to really reach out and network and try to get more applicants and people involved in this program. So we went from, if I can find it, I think it was, give me 1 second here. So in 2024, we had 12 applicants. This year, we have 17. So we're continually going to, Jacqueline's going to go through and she's going to score all of these applicants for approval. So we worked on, she's going to continue to work on a 5-year consolidated plan and continue to work on this grant money that will be distributed. But what we were able to do by getting more applicants was she opened up the application process. She had workshops, 3 rounds of open office hours, one-on-one technical assistance throughout this whole process, step-by-step tutorial videos posted on the city's website. And she had the ability to submit, digital emails and paper applications. So she really did a good job running this program. So more will be coming at a later date to the council on the final selection process. Did I miss anything on that part?
No, I just want to say, can I say something,
Go ahead.
Chairman? That the work together on this committee was amazing. Councilman Clement, Councilman Guerrero, and myself, I had 0 complaints from the community this year, and it's because we engaged more, right, Councilman Clement?
Yep.
And Councilman Guerrero, and Jackie Lozado was over, above, and beyond amazing in this process. We, the 3 of us, along with Jackie Lozado, got everything the community was asking for. I have no complaints. I could want for nothing more. Like, such a great job was done with this. So thank you, Jackie Lozado, and thank you, Councilman Clement and Guerrero. Amazing teamwork. Thanks.
Yeah, there was no new or old business. And then there is a call for nominations for the 2025 Neighborhood Hero Award, which we've been doing for the last few years. If anybody would like to be nominated, or you know your neighbor, you can get a hold of Jacqueline. That's 815-724-4096. The deadline is May 30th. That's our deadline. And then you can get Jacqueline Lozada at joliet.gov. If you know anybody your neighbors that want to nominate for this Neighborhood Hero Award. So that was there was no public comment, and then we had an adjournment. So that is my report on the Diversity and Community Relations Committee.
Thank you.
Yep.
Public safety?
Public Safety met today in the council chambers at 5:30. Present was Councilwoman Jan Quillman, Susanna Ibarra, and myself. We approved the minutes from March 31st, 2025. There were no citizens to be heard on any agenda items. We approved, and it's actually on our agenda for tonight under 285-25. Carlos Matlock, our deputy chief, spoke about upgrading and exchanging of 2 rifles for the Joliet Police Department Special Operations Squad. We've had 2 new members, and the rifles that they currently have are over 20 years old, so we need to get those back up to par. And that's on tonight's agenda for $10,350, and that was all passed unanimously for tonight's agenda item. Under resolutions, we had Fire Chief Carey here, the resolution to approve and authorize the acceptance of the Will County Community Mental Health Board 2025 Grant Funding Award to fund our community mental health program in the amount of $200,000. So this is basically a grant. The money comes from Will County, and thanks Chief Carey for working on that grant for us, so that's going to come to help our residents here at Joliet. So thank you on that. And that pass, that's going to come at a later date to the board here, to the council. New or old business, not for final action. We did not have anything. We did have in attendance under public comments, Dr. John Herkel, and he gave a pretty powerful speech. I encourage anyone that would like to hear it to go under to the Public Safety Committee website, on the city website, and you can view it there. But basically, paraphrasing, Dr. Herco complimented Chief Evans on his comments, an essay, basically, in reference to the Melito incident at Shell gas station. He did say he was very disappointed on how some people in the community are hurting the city image, and he was not happy about that. He would like to see the city make a public comment in reference to this incident, outside of what Chief Evans commented on. He was not happy about some of the people calling our young officer a murderer and calling for his job to have him fired. He also complimented Chief Carey from the fire department on the city's mental health program. Those were the public comments. We adjourned, and that is my my report here.
Thank you.
Yep.
Joe, excuse me.
Yep.
You forgot the part where we were going to run the tape recording back so everyone could hear his comments, but they're not able to do it because it's a process that has to go through. So that's why Joe Clement was promoting you to listen to all his comments, because they really hit home, and you really need to hear what he had to say.
Yep.
So.
Thank you, Jan.
Okay. Public service?
The Public Service Committee met yesterday at 4:30 here at City Hall in the council chambers. On the committee and in attendance at the meeting was Councilwoman Reardon, Councilman Mudrin, and myself. It was routine, somewhat long, 19 items. I will not go through every item, all the small items. I will open by saying that we did look over all 11 contracts, 4 change orders, and pay estimates and payments, and 5 ordinances changes. And we found them all to be in order. I will touch on some of the larger ones. For instance, let me bring it up here. Okay, we have 2 contracts that are known as on-call services. One is $400,000 for underground utility repair work, water and sewer. If we have to contract out beyond what our staff can do, and that was for $400,000. The other one was $600,000 for utilities restoration program, meaning after your yard or your parkway is torn up, getting it done as quickly as possible. Both are approached by taking the 3 highest bidders, and when these needs arise, They call the lowest bidder. If they're not available, can't do the job, they call the second lowest bidder on down to the third. So if the lowest bidder can do every job, then we get their best price. But if they say they can't do it, we certainly want to have options. So we did look at those. I wanted to explain that and how it works, why there's three, if you will, winners to both of those bids. Those are on-call contract services. We did look at Fairmont Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Project. The unincorporated Fairmont neighborhoods were brought on as customers of our water and sewer when the Lockport Township decided to no longer run it and was thinking about selling it to a private water company, which would have really raised the rates on these folks that live in that subdivision. So we looked at about $950,000 in sewer rehabilitation for the Fairmont, because the sewer comes with the water, obviously, and about $94,000 in engineering services from RJN Group. That entire amount, the $948,000 and the $94,000, will be paid to us by the county. They're using several different funds. All of the capital improvements of bringing them on as customers have been paid by the county. And then moving forward, of course, they're just Joliet water customers. Then we did look at a $14.7 million elevated water storage tank for two $1 million storage tanks. We did look at the bid. We did approve the bid and recommend that the bid be honored because to CB&I Storage Tank Solutions. However, later when we get to the item, Mayor, on the council agenda, we are waiting for a couple of other things to do with some specific certifications, just to dot our I's and cross our T's, which haven't come back yet. I talked to staff, so I think I'm going to ask this to be postponed. Okay. I'll make a motion to be postponed until 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks is enough to get the information that we need. Okay, yeah, so I just wanted to point it out. This is part of the overarching project for the alternative water supply that we're going to switch to in 2030. This is not part of the Water Commission assets and work. This is part, each city has to upgrade its system. We have to add, I think, 3. These are 2 of them, but I think total, we're adding 3, maybe 4 elevated water tanks for storage at 1 million gallons per, but also 2 to keep the pressure throughout the system. Then there's some smaller ones that I'm not going to go into detail on. All of this is always available online at the meeting. As Councilman Clement pointed out, you can actually listen to the meeting if you have nothing better to do. Feel free to dial it up on our website. And you can listen to me drone on and on there too. Change order pay estimates and final payments. We had the final payment of $902,000 for the borough's water main improvements project at Lund Thompson Son Excavating, and actually it finished up by giving us, the city, a credit back of about $139,000. And then we made the final payment. So that came in under budget. It's always good to brag about coming in under budget when you can. Another small item in there. We did look at $182,933 for a relocation feasibility study, professional services agreement for the Joliet water and sewer that will be affected by the I-80 reconstruction. And it was in order. And again, the good news is that $183,000 is not going to be paid by local taxpayers only. That's reimbursed by the state to us. Any of the project costs for us to take care of our utilities as it pertains to the I-80 improvements, we get reimbursed for that. So, it's still tax dollars, just not local tax dollars only. And under ordinance and resolutions, we had a budget amendment to look at for $750,000 for the combined sewer overflow long-term control plan, meaning the stormwater sanitary sewer overflows. This is not new. Actually, it's kind of good news. What it means is the estimate. This is I think it was a $12 million total project roughly. And the estimate, we had to put an estimate in, the water and sewer department had to put an estimate how much work they think the contractor would do under this $12 million in 2025 back in the fall, so we could put it in this budget. Turns out that the estimate was low, and that the contractor can do $750,000 more estimated work by the end of 25, so we need to add that to the budget. If it had not been amended and added to the 2025 budget, it just means they would have done it in '26. So it's not new expenditures and it's not new parts of the project. They're just doing it a little bit quicker than we had estimated or anticipated. So I wanted to make that clear because some people would think a $750,000 oops could be a problem. It's not an oops. Efficiency by the contractor. Let me see. We got small ones. We got some. Yeah. Then we did look at, and this is attracted some attention in my district particularly, approval of an application for a drive-through permit for 7 Brew Restaurant at 2551 Plainfield Road. There was a representative from 7 Brew here, and the question that people had, two biggest questions about whether we should approve this on Route 30 out there in District 1 was number one, was there a traffic study? There doesn't need to be a traffic study because there's no entrance or exiting to this facility directly from Route 30. There's an existing private road that people have to get to go to the stores like AutoZone is there and Denny's, and they'll be using the same road, so they don't have their own exit or entrance to the 7 Brew. The other question was, should the council approve it when they haven't? We already approved the Jefferson Street one, and it's gone nowhere. That's not true. I didn't get the details of the delay, but the representative did explain that they're getting ready. I think they said they're going to break ground in May. Didn't they say that, Greg?
I think they said the 19th.
Yeah, May 19th.
May 19th.
Yeah.
They're tearing it down. Some of you may have seen that's already been released to the press. They are tearing it down. They are moving forward. So there's going to be 2 7 Brews. One on Jefferson, one on Route 30 on opposite ends of the town. So coffeeaholics out there, God bless you. It's coming. Did I miss anything? I'm looking along. Did I miss anything, Pat?
No, Mr. Council, you were very good. I think you were longer, though, than our meeting was.
And that's even removing one item. Sherry, anything?
They're good. Thank you.
Mayor, in that case, that's our report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of minutes. It is recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on April 14th, 2025, and the council meeting held on April 15th, 2025 stand approved as recorded. Invoices to be paid. It is recommended this report be approved. Council memo number 269-25, award of contract for the 2025 Utilities Restoration Program in the amount of $600,000. Council memo number 270-25, award of contract for the 2025 Fairmont Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Project to Hare Construction Incorporated in the amount of $947,739, and amendment number 1 for the Fairmont Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Program Professional Services Agreement to RJN Group Incorporated in the amount of $93,800. Council memo number 271-25, award of contract for the 10D Booster Pump number 3 emergency repairs to Great Lakes Water Resources Group in the amount of $39,836. Council memo number 272-25, award of contract for the 2025-2026 landscape maintenance contract to Berry Landscaping Management in the amount of $273,000. Council memo number 273-25, award of professional services agreement for the College Park and Springwood Lift Station conversion and rehabilitation to Trotter and Associates Incorporated in the amount of $136,300. Council memo number 274-25, approval of the purchase of Foreman truck from Ron Tirapelli Ford Incorporated in the amount of $73,509, and approval of the purchase and installation of the service body from Knapheide Equipment Company, Chicago, in the amount of $37,218.71. Council memo number 275-25, approval of purchase of replacement return activated sludge pumps for the Aux Sable wastewater treatment plant from Dryden Equipment Incorporated in the amount of $115,837.50. Council memo number 276, approval of amendment number 2 for the IDOT I-80 reconstruction coordination and Joliet water and sewer relocation feasibility study professional services agreement to V3 companies in the amount of $182,933. Council memo number 277-25, approval of change order number 1 for the Burr Oaks Water Main Improvements Project to Len Cox & Sons Excavating for a decreased amount of $138,804.43 and pay estimate number 4 and final in the amount of $902,799.72. Council Memo Number 278-25, approval of change order number 2 for the lead service line replacement Phase 4 project to Stitt Brothers Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $95,750. Council Memo Number 279-25, payment of the 2025 membership dues for the Lower Des Plaines Watershed Group in the amount of $100,704.31. It is recommended Council Memos 269-25 through 279-25 be approved. Is there a motion to approve all said consent agenda items?
Excuse me, I will move to approve. However, since Councilman Guerrero, or excuse me, Moreno, sorry, I was used to the Guerrero, was not here for the council meetings, he's not able to vote on that part, for the minutes, but everything else, because it's all together for one vote. Am I making myself clear?
Separate.
So he can vote on everything but the minutes, because he wasn't here.
Then we need a motion to remove that item from the consent.
So moved.
I'm just trying to help him out, so I
Second.
was just trying to,
No,
okay,
it's okay.
all right.
We have a motion second to remove the,
Yes, the mayor motioned and Susanna seconded.
we have a,
To remove the
To remove
minutes of
the-
meeting that.
yep, the approval of minutes of the pre-council meeting held on April 14th, 2025, and the council meeting held on April 15th. Okay. Okay. Do we want to vote on that right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do that first.
Okay. We have a motion and second?
I'll make a motion to vote on the approval of the minutes.
I'll second.
I think we were voting on the mayor's motion to remove first.
Oh.
It's standalone, and then we have to make a motion
Okay,
once we
go
remove.
back up.
Am I correct, Todd?
You are right.
All right, thank you. Todd and I had a conversation, Mayor, earlier today about another item of details. So
Ah,
I'm trying to one up.
So this vote is to remove that from the.
correct,
From the consent.
correct, from the consent. It's to be voted on separately.
Yep. We have, okay, so we have a motion and a second to remove those minutes from the consent agenda.
Correct.
Okay.
Not too complicated.
Okay, Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
I abstain.
Oh. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. Now we'll need, now we need a motion to approve the consent agenda
With the change.
with the change.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve the consent agenda as changed. Councilman Clement?
I think it'd be Larry.
Oh. Councilman Hug?
Yeah, new Councilman Moreno, I'm sorry, your first vote has to be an abstention. Aye.
It's okay.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
I abstain.
No, you
No,
can
you can vote on
vote
this.
You told him
You
abstain.
can vote on this.
No, it's
Aye.
no.
Oh, for heaven's sake, we're confusing him. Okay.
This is without the minutes. You just told. This
Right.
is without the minutes.
This is without the minutes.
You're good without the
This
minutes.
is without the minutes.
So you can vote aye.
Okay.
Oh, let's do it again. Aye.
Here you go.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Now we need a motion for the minutes.
Okay, now we have the minutes. We need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on April 14th, 2025, and the council meeting held on April 15th, 2025.
Todd, does he abstain on this?
Yes, this one he abstained.
Because he wasn't here, so that's the purpose of it.
Yeah, we got a first and second. After the first and second, so.
Okay, we have a motion and second.
We'll figure it out.
Ibarra.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion second.
Oh, we have
Yep. Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno can't. Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right. Agenda items. Council memo number 281-25, award of contract for the 2025 on-call excavation and underground utility repair program in the amount of $400,000. It is recommended council memo number 281-25 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Who's the approval of this too? Who's the contractor on this one?
There's three.
Three, okay.
This is,
Also-
yeah, this is the on-call services. It would be construction by Camco is number one, the lowest. The second place, if you will, if the Camco can't do it, would be Austin Tyler. And then the third would be Aries Incorporated. Those are the three on the list now.
Is there an abstention on this due to Austin Tyler?
Yes.
Correct, okay. Just being.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Can't vote on nothing.
They're standing all over the place tonight.
Yeah, I'm just causing trouble today.
Only your first meeting. Okay.
Any discussion, or we're good? We have a motion second?
Yes.
It's been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
I abstain.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 282-25, award of contract for the JOL-08-02 elevated water storage tanks project to CB&I Storage Tank Solutions LLC in the amount of $14,742,000.
I would make a motion to postpone the vote on this for 2 weeks to the next meeting and schedule it for the vote on the next agenda.
So we're going to table it for today.
Talk to Todd.
We're postponing.
Table
We're
or
postponing.
Postpone.
We're postponing.
Postpone.
Second.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
That's the item I talked to Todd about earlier. He came in.
Why did he tell everybody else?
Didn't have time.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to postpone council memo number 282-25, award of contract, JOL 08-25, elevated water storage tanks to CB&I Storage Tank Solutions, to the May 20th, 2025 council meeting. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 283-25. Approval of purchase of water metering equipment from Core and Main LP for the 2025 water meter replacement programs in the amount of $2,314,998. It is recommended council memo number 283-25 be approved.
Mayor,
Yeah.
Councilman Guerrero was very disappointed in me. That's one of the big items I forgot to mention. Just so everybody knows, we've already awarded the contract here to a company to do the installation, but it was frugal by the Water and Sewer Department for us to purchase it ourselves and let them install it, then to purchase it through another company that would mark it up. So that's why this is. So this is just a standard every year item that we do to replace aging water meters of both small and large size. Thank you. And I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any other comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
I abstain.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 284-25. Approval of change order number 2 for the Eastern Avenue, Washington Street roadway reconstruction project for a decreased amount of $1,686.40 and payment estimate number 8 and final in the amount of $11,444.29 on behalf of Austin Tyler Construction Incorporated. It is recommended Council Memo Number 284-25 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
I abstain.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 282-25, approval of upgrade exchange of rifles for the Joliet Police Department's Special Operations Squad. It is,
Say 282.
285.
It's 285.
oh, sorry. Council Memo
Okay.
Number 285-25.
It's in the air tonight.
Approval of upgrade exchange of rifles for the Joliet Police Department's Special Operations Squad. It is recommended Council Memo Number 285-25 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon? Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Licenses and permit applications. Council Memo Number 287-25. Issuance of Class E liquor license at 3051 Ring Road, True by Hilton, Joliet, Plainfield. It is recommended the issuance of a Class E liquor license at 3051 Ring Road, True by Hilton at Joliet, Plainfield be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank
Mayor,
you.
just one question.
Sure.
Don't he usually give us a report? So I just want to make sure all of these have been vetted
Yeah, they've been vetted, Troy.
and there's no outstanding, you know the whole spiel.
No, these are all solid.
We're all good, because you're the commissioner.
We did pull one that we had some questions on, so, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 288-25, transfer of Class F liquor license at 310 Stryker Avenue, Nico's Banquet. It is recommended the transfer of a Class F liquor license at 310 Stryker Avenue, Nico's Banquet be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 289-25. Issuance of a Class E liquor license at 324 Collins Street, Machetes, Puebla. It is recommended the issuance of a Class F liquor license at 324 Collins Street, Machetes, Puebla be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 290-25. Approval of an application for a drive-through permit for a 7-Brew restaurant at 2551 Plainfield Road. It is recommended the drive-through permit for 7-Brew restaurant at 2551 Plainfield Road be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments?
Yes, Mayor. I just wanted to thank our Economic Development Director, Pauline. I had a question about why the one right across the street from my district wasn't open, and she promptly answered my question. So I want to give her credit for letting me know what was happening with the one that's right across the street from my district. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances, Council Memo Number 292-25, ordinances associated with Vista Ridge subdivision. This includes ordinances approving final plan unit development for Vista Ridge subdivision, Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, and Phase 4, and ordinances approving recording plats for Vista Ridge subdivision, Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, and Phase 4. It is recommended said ordinances be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Quick question, is this Councilwoman Reardon, your district? Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 293-25, ordinance vacating a sanitary sewer easement on Graywell Boulevard, Panorama Drive, and Springview Lane in the Vista Ridge subdivision. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Oh. Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 294-25, ordinance amending the 2025 annual budget for the Combined Sewer Overflow Long-Term Control Plan Phase 4 East Side and West Side Combined Sewer Overflow Regulators Project in the amount of $750,000. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 295-25, ordinance authorizing an amendment of Joliet for the 2025 fiscal year 2024 projects funded in 2025. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
Mayor, could we get a brief explanation, I don't know, from Tom or from Dustin? Because this isn't a specific item like the one before it, right? This is a change in...
This was heard last month at the Finance Committee, this budget amendment for the Victory Center. And as discussed at that committee, this is a case of Blaine Klein and I missing. The fact that we just had to amend the budget in the budget process in the city of Joliet. Typically, where we have priorly experienced the project is approved and the funds span budget years. Joliet, for additional financial transparency, requires those amendments to come before council. We missed it. We're here before you saying we've got the money. We'd like to use the money. The project is winding down, and we're just looking for your benediction on this.
So it's just housekeeping?
It's 100%.
On Victory?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under resolutions, Council Memo Number 297-25, Resolution approving a grant agreement with the State of Illinois Department of Natural Resources for the Joliet Oral Histories Context Study Project. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quomen?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 298-25. Resolution authorizing a programmatic agreement between City of Joliet, the Illinois State Historic Preservation Officer, and the Advisory Council on Historic Preservation. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
Again, Mayor, somebody give a quick explanation?
Sure. May I? This is for the it's really dense. I'm trying to find the best way to explain this. Okay, we have someone better than me, and that's why it takes a team.
You go first.
Sure. So this is an agreement between City of Joliet and the State Historic Preservation in order for the City of Joliet, when funded government funds, to be able to conclude their own environmental review, which is a requirement of any project that is funded through federal dollars.
And it mentions, thank you, Pauline, and it mentions HUD. How is HUD involved with this?
Sure. So the funds do come from HUD, typically in the form of CDBG grants, or sometimes we are the responsible entity for other organizations such as the Housing Authority of Joliet, which are also federally funded through HUD. And Jane here is our SHPO officer of Joliet, and she is certified. So instead of going through the lengthy process of sending these projects and all of the environmental review findings to the state in order to be approved, between Jane and I, we're able to conclude them ourselves.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to add?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thanks.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quomen?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 299-25, resolution accepting and placing on file the Joliet Historic Preservation Commission Annual Report for 2024. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quomen?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 300-25, resolution authorizing the acquisition of property for the Joliet Downtown Levee Improvements, PIN 300710100001, in the amount of $7,000. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
I have a quick question. Greg Ruddy, can you tell me how many more pieces do we have to assemble to get this levee in motion?
We're actively working with the Army Corps of Engineers on the planning and programming of the project. There's a total of 7 parcels that we need to obtain. We've obtained one. This will be our second one. The challenge with the remaining parcels is several of them are owned by U.S. Steel, which can be a challenge to work with, and one is owned by a railroad, which is very challenging. So we're working through that process. These 2 pieces that we picked up are kind of the low-hanging fruit. We'll continue to work on the others, but the ownership of those can make it challenging to obtain them.
All right, thank you. All right. questions? Thank you.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 301-25, resolution granting an easement to the Illinois Department of Transportation for the Jefferson Street US 30 movable bridge over the Des Plaines River Rehabilitation Project, PIN 300709412019 and PIN 300709415020. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 302-25, resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement for the maintenance of traffic signals at the intersection of Laraway Road and Marcella Avenue with Cassens Transport Company. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
Mayor?
Yeah.
When I comment on this, I left it out of my report. Just for those people watching this is not something that's going to increase our responsibility or cost the city any money, giving anything to this private company, Cassens Transport Company. What happens is whenever you have a business that you got a four-way stop and one side of the stoplight only services that business, they're responsible for maintenance. Of course, they don't want to hire somebody and go through that headache, so they contract with us and pay us to maintain it. I want to be clear on that.
Thank you.
And I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All set. Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 303-25, resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding between the County of Will and the City of Joliet related to parking lot use for the IHSA baseball finals. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
You already did me.
Sorry.
Aye,
Mayor
yeah.
Darcy. Mayor Darcy. Motion carried.
Mayor, can I ask Deputy City Manager Krista, this is their question. Are you still tip of the spear on the front, like you've been for years on the IHSA stuff?
Paulina Martinez is overseeing this project
Okay, then
this
this
year.
question is for Paulina.
Yes.
Paulina, this covers this year and next year, which is the last 2 years of our current commitment with IHSA. Do we have a chance of getting it again after that?
That is something that we are discussing internally. So yes, there is a possibility.
All right, so they haven't chosen somebody yet for the 27 season and beyond.
Sorry.
They haven't chosen somebody yet for the 2027 season beyond yet.
Correct.
We still might be hosting it. We
Yes.
might be. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, next is the city manager's report. Deputy City Manager.
Good evening, everyone. Regarding downtown construction, work continues in the downtown construction area with several key improvements underway. Last week's progress includes installation of new water mains and associated water service connections have been completed. Storm drainage components in the Chicago-Clinton intersection have been installed. Electrical work both on Chicago Street, north of Clinton, and in the city square will continue. Foundation work on the main stage and other structures in the square will continue. ComEd crews will continue with the vault reconstruction work on Chicago Street between Clinton and Cass. Chicago Street from Jefferson to Clinton will remain open to traffic while work continues during daytime hours. Some temporary lane closures can be expected for isolated work elements. We do appreciate residents' continued patience and cooperation as improvements move forward. Next, we want to encourage residents and community stakeholders to attend the Downtown Joliet Equitable Transit-Oriented Development Plan Open House on Wednesday, May 14th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This plan recommends actions that the city and its partners can take to foster a more thriving downtown and underscores the need for more housing variety, which will bring more people into our downtown area. Staff, along with our consultant and community partners, have been working on this planning project for over a year, and we're happy to see it get to this stage. You can come out at any time to examine, discuss, and comment on the contents of the draft plan. There will be free tacos, free parking, and gift card raffles for attendees. This includes the city manager's report.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have public comments. So this is time for public comment. Anybody that wants to address the council. At this time, I'm going to read the rules for public comment. The public participation of rules of procedure. Speakers should try to address all comments to the council as a whole and not to any member thereof. Repetitive comments are discouraged. The total comment time for any one person is 4 minutes. A speaker cannot give his or her allotted minutes to another speaker. No speaker shall engage in a debate or make direct threats or personal attacks or be uncivil or abusive. The presiding officer may limit irrelevant, immaterial, or inappropriate comments or statements. So is there anybody that would like to come up and address the council this evening? Okay, please.
How's everyone? My name is Marvin L. Matthews. I reside in Joliet, Cathedral area, 424 North Prairie Avenue, southeast corner of Taylor and Prairie. I came here, disturbing news for me, disturbing news for the community. I've been there for September will be 6 years. Within the last 5 months or so, it's been super disturbing for me. One way to the other one. I'm a U.S. Excuse me. I'm a disabled veteran, U.S. Navy, service connected. It's been very disturbing for me to have to bring despairing, abusive news to this committee, to the city, to the notice of the city of this Joliet, that I have unwarranted criminals next door to me. And they're, I don't know what kind of passage that they're bringing, but it's been super unbearable that they're not leaving. My phone's being tapped. I don't know what kind of mission they could be on one way to the other one. Only thing I do know is that it's getting very irritating. It's getting very unbearable. No one likes being watched or have a device on them in their house, in their home. It's very uncomfortable. I've called the police on a few occasions, and I haven't got good results from it whatsoever. Pretty decent man. I'm in my 60s. I don't like being bribed. I'm not good at being bullied. And I definitely don't figure to be a senior citizen for all the work that I put in through the years and the work that I have ahead of me. It's been very unbearable that that I'm taking on a committee of, I would say they're criminals. you know, when you're conspiring and you're doing things, and you have a set up network, and I know the difference between what's good and what's bad, and I've been there, like I said, 6 years, going on 6 years in September, that it would be something that unusual to change. I would dare tell anybody that I know to love that I'm going through these situations, and the perpetrators are right next door, one way to the other one. I think their address is 821 Farragut, northeast corner, up Joliet. You know, like I said, I would have never thought in all the years that I've been there that this could occur, that these things could be an actual, you could actually have criminals that move next to you, view your house, have devices that they use, and then carry out these kind of situations. I'm kind of a little concerned because I moved somebody eventually into the home because I was getting notice that, well, you're the only one there. And I'm like, well, what do you mean by that?
Sir?
If I'm the only one there, is that acceptable?
Sir, 4 minutes. 4 minutes is up, yes.
Yes. Okay. I mean, like I said, the 15th, they were bamming at my door, calling my phone.
Sir, we've got your information. I'm sorry, your 4 minutes is up. Thank you.
Well, you know, if there's something done about this, I'll gladly be able to come back in here and render that, you know. I don't like being alone with a mission like this.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I would like to congratulate everyone that got sworn in last night at the city council meeting. Congratulations to you all. My name is Diane Natter, and I reside at 1316 New Links Road. Today, I stand before you to discuss critical concerns that affect the very fabric of our community. This Love's Truck Stop is in a residential neighborhood is a misguided idea that regards the well-being, safety, and security of our community. I am here to give you a few ideas on how to make our neighborhood safer, since love has fearfully entered our lives and destroyed our quality of life. Seeing how this project is so close to residents' front doors, 30 feet, I suggest that double berms be put in place. This is a residential community, and we need safety measures in place to prevent anything bad happening. This would help with the noise levels associated with the truck stop. Did you know that 55 to 60 decibels is normal? Did you know that prolonged noise levels at 80 decibels has the potential for hearing loss and tinnitus? Did you know that 100 decibels is typical for the normalcy for a truck stop? Sleep disturbances and fatigue, increased stress, and anxiety are all associated with noise pollution. I also suggest a nice sidewalk. It's only fair to have a sidewalk to walk in the city. Plus, it would be much safer for our neighborhood. I would also like to recommend a stone wall around the perimeter. It would be a safety issue that would help contain this mess. Just down in Morris, on April 25th at 10:15 p.m. at a Love's truck stop, there was a shooting. Stray bullets everywhere. Lucky no one was injured. What if this happens in a residential area at Joliet's Love's truck stop? Maybe a stone fence? It would help keep stray bullets from hitting or killing innocent people. I also recommend that the tire center be shut down after 10 p.m. and not reopen until 8 a.m. We need to be able to at least sleep a few hours. This is a noise ordinance that needs to be addressed. The presence of Joliet police officers would help deter the crime that happens at truck stops. Drugs and human trafficking are prevalent at truck stops. 800,000 people are trafficked across the country. Victims are often forced into prostitution, subjected to physical and mental abuse, and deprived of their basic human rights. We cannot ignore the reality of human trafficking and its potential impact on our community. I would also like to recommend that all local unions that support Love's Truck Stop be hired to do all the work. Since you did not go by federal guidelines, which is 1,000 feet from residential area, and Will County land use, which is 2,640 feet from residential area, I think that my suggestions would help make our neighborhoods safer. And isn't that isn't that the goal? To make the city of Joliet a safe place to live and raise families? Thank you for your time, and I really hope you do the right thing to ensure our safety. Maybe this would be a way to help fix the mistakes that were made. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chelsea Thien. So I'm just going to speak a little bit today about my brother-in-law, David Molito. I'm sure everyone's aware of the situation. David Molito was a son, a brother, grandson, uncle, cousin, and friend. Most importantly, he was a person who deserved better. He called 911 for help. He begged for help. He begged not to be killed. He even said he loved you. The Joliet Police Department did not handle the situation that ultimately ended with a tragic loss of his life. The Joliet Police Department needs to be trained better. They need to be better equipped to handle mental health and substance use crises. Mental health and substance use continues to be an issue, huge issue, in our community as a whole. Instead of ignoring it, we need to do something about it. We need solutions and actions. We will not stop fighting for justice. We need change, and we need it now. We don't need broken promises. And we will continue and we will not stop fighting for justice. For David Molito, for George Floyd, for Eric Lurie, for Eric Gardner, and for so many others who were failed by the system that's supposed to help them. We demand change for this broken system that we live in. So many of these situations could have been prevented. We will not stop losing those we love to this failed system. We love you, David. You know, that was my little thing that I wrote down for myself, so right now I'm gonna speak from my heart. Imagine your loved one, going through that situation. There was so much going on, I know that. Imagine, this video that was shared to the public, your family, your friends saying, hey, did you see that video? Hey, did you see what happened? We didn't get to see that video. I think that, we as a family should have had the common decency and courtesy to view that video privately. Time to process what we've seen instead of people telling us what they've seen. David's not here anymore. He's not here, but he's with us in our hearts, and he will never leave our hearts. He's with me in my thoughts. He's with me in my heart. He's with me every day when I wake up. I can't call him anymore. His brother, which is my husband, he would FaceTime him every day. That was his twin brother. A part of him is gone. Every day I have to see the tears of my husband, how he feels with his brother being gone. So again, I beg of you. I see all these numbers on this agenda, thousands and millions and hundreds of dollars. Can we please put some of that money into these police officers so that they're better equipped to handle these situations. I know that sometimes they don't know what they're getting into, but when he called 911 3 times, there was clear evidence to show that he needed help, to where it wasn't just a criminal thing, that he was under some distress, whether it was mental health or substance use. So that's what I asked for this change to happen, so this doesn't happen again. Thank you.
My name is Doug Casper with the Nonviolent City Project here in Joliet. I was at the vigil yesterday for this young man that died, and the emotions were high, understandably very high, and so I asked that we just all have compassion on that. And a lot of things were said. We could do better. That's what I want to say. We can do better, and we need to do better to stop this type of violence. Thank you very much.
Carl Farrell, Joliet resident. What I have in my hand is a copy of the investigation of the Joliet Police Department and the findings of that investigation from the Office of the Attorney General. In the findings, it opens with, the Office of the Illinois Attorney General has reasonable cause to believe that the JPD engages in a pattern or practice of conduct that deprives people of their rights under the Constitution, federal law, and state law. It further goes on to say that JPD uses unreasonable force, including tasers, head strikes, and other types of force in violation of the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. JPD's inadequate crisis intervention response system contributes to its pattern of unreasonable force against people with behavioral health disabilities in violation of the Fourth Amendment. These are facts. That's in a report that took 3 years of our time to come to these findings. On page 17 of this report, the first 2 paragraphs state that JPD's use of excessive force spans a variety of force types, but we have particular concerns about tasers, head strikes, including the tendency to use them repeatedly without a commensurate threat. These concerns often overlap with unnecessary escalation or retaliatory force and include instances of unreasonable force against teenagers and people with behavioral health disabilities. Officers rarely intervene when other officers use force unreasonably, and supervisors rarely identify, much less correct this behavior. This pattern is harmful to the very community that JPD is sworn to protect. It makes people less likely to cooperate or view police as a legitimate authority. JPD's use of escalating tactics and unreasonable force has unnecessarily traumatized community members and amplified distrust of police, particularly among the Black and Latino members of the community. Those are facts that we have, not opinions. So, we saw a video that was released to the public with a narrative. We've seen that happen before. A video be released to the public after the amount of time that the video is supposed to be held, because in the state of Illinois, it's 90 days that the body cam footage is supposed to be released to the public. That video was released well after the 90 days. And like the family said, they didn't even get the courtesy to see the video first. That also happened before. The things that in this report are things that are still happening. We watched a police officer kneel on David Maliko's neck for 128 seconds while his hands were behind his back, and somebody else applied pressure to his legs. If any of you up there were on your face down with your hands behind your back and somebody put their knee and their weight between your neck and shoulders, you would have a hard time breathing too. I heard comments earlier that were malfeasant in nature. They were iniquitous, as well as facetious. It showed a lack of concern for the family who was sitting here, and it showed bias. To state the opinion and suggest people go watch the opinion of a person who picked a particular side. He's a community member, just like I am. So if you suggest for somebody to view their comments, suggest for somebody to view my comments too. Suggest for people to read this report. We just went a whole election cycle without people really digging into this report. If people are here to represent the community, you know what I'm saying, the community needs to know the truth. We can't just have the ugly things in Joliet. We have to fix them, or the problems will always be here.
Say his name.
David Bolito.
David Bolito. Say his name. David Bolito. Say his name. David Bolito.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Lurie. I am the widow of Eric Lurie. You know, I really hate coming to these city council meetings. I really can find something else to do with my time. I came down here in the year 2020, like for almost 5, 6, 7, almost a year straight. Up until the Attorney General stepped in to do an investigation on Joliet police policies and practices. And there was a couple of you that's still here that signed that letter with the former mayor to have that investigation come about. And I'm glad that they did do an investigation. I know some of you guys don't think all the information in there is factual, but the proof is in the pudding. It took 3 years for this investigation to happen and for them to come back with all of these findings. I was shocked, to be honest, about all the recommendations. I've been in Joliet pretty much all my life up until I left high school and went to college, and I decided to come back here. We have to do better. People are losing their loved ones, and it's not fair. JPD is supposed to protect and serve our community. And some people may think I'm biased towards police, but I'm not. I have family members that live down south that are actually sheriffs and police officers. Our actual uncles who houses I went to every summer. So I'm not biased against the police, but I am biased against someone that kills an individual. With this report, I hope you guys can come to some type of conclusion to where if it's more training that's needed, make sure the officers get it. I hope you guys, with all of these recommendations that the AG office recommended, if they recommended these recommendations, take heed to it. They took 3 years to do this. It's not fair for families to have to keep losing loved ones or to come down here shedding tears in front of you guys. We voted you guys in here. We thought that you guys would do the right thing, and that's all we're asking for people to do the right thing here. Eric Lurie died in January of 2020, and I'm still fighting for justice. Now I stand and I support David Melito's family because that's just what I do. I created a foundation, Justice for Wise Foundation, to help and to support and make sure these families have resources. All I ask is that you guys do the right thing. We shouldn't have to be coming down here in tears, crying. Every time she talks, I get emotional because Eric Lurie was my husband. This was her brother-in-law. This is his mom, David Melito's mom sitting here. It's emotional for these families. When you guys lose loved ones, I'm sure you guys are emotional as well. We got to have compassion for community members, not just certain ones. And everybody are entitled to their opinion, and that's fine. But don't bash the family with an opinion from another community member.
Yeah.
I might not like what you say. But I'm a humble person, and I'm not gonna say, oh, because Mr. Mayor Terry Darcy said this, that everybody should agree. Because I'm bashing him. That's not right. You guys were elected. Please do your job with this investigation report, just come to some type of conclusion so that our community can do better and our officers can do better. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Okay. Seeing none, next we have mayor and council comments.
No comment.
I just had two items. I was approached, 20 South Larkin is Dunkin' Donut over there, south of Jefferson on Larkin. Behind it, there's a strip mall. I guess there was a storm last summer, and part of that roof in that strip mall is ripped off. I didn't know if somebody from the city can go see what's going on there. I had some people that actually work there, patrons in that strip mall, and they said it's been like that it's going on close to a year. And so part of that roof of that strip mall is ripped off, so we can look into that. Also, I have a guy that wants to purchase a piece of property at 358 West Jefferson Street. If you guys know where that's at, it's across from Wendy's and then across from Victory Senior Center, where we just knocked down the gymnasium. But it's attached to a small piece of city property. It's a parking lot. And the answer that he received was, we can't sell a piece of property until the comprehensive plan is completed. Well, that comprehensive plan could take 3 years. I mean, if this guy wants to buy a piece of property, and I just didn't know if there's something else we could do. You guys probably know where it's at, right across from Wendy's to the south, small parking lot, and it's kind of contingent on him buying this piece of property that has been vacant. If you guys remember, it's the old Lorraine's that was over there. So I just didn't know if there's something more we can do. I can't see us waiting for the comprehensive plan to sell a small parking lot that we don't even use. So if we can look into that, please. Thanks, Mayor.
If I may, what does he want to put there, Doug?
I don't even know yet. He just,
just wants the property.
Yeah.
I got nothing there.
I would like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and the moms holding it down also. They're the moms and the dads, my mother, and all the moms on this council. Thank you.
No, Mayor.
We on the council got a notice from the city last month that we have a person, a telecommunicator of the year. A telecommunicator that was honored as that person, telecommunicator of the year, Tydra Jones. And I'd just like to officially say thank you as a councilman. We appreciate everything you do for the city. Thanks. That's it. Thank you.
I've been asked by Candace and Sarah, they didn't know they were still going to be here, but on May 31st, they're in charge of the Bicentennial Bluffs Neighborhood Organization. They're having a cleanup and a bake sale, and they'd like for you to come. It starts at 10 o'clock again on the 31st. It's at St. Peter's Lutheran Church to meet at 310 North Broadway. And it's parking across the street, and they're going to have raffles and lunch will be provided. So they would love to have anybody come and help them clean up around the neighborhood. And I've noticed a lot of the neighborhood organizations are getting together and they're pooling their resources and they're cleaning up each one of their areas. So that would be May 31st at 10 a.m. And that's all I have today.
I would just like to bring up the CERT class that I'm involved in and have been involved in for about, I think, 7 or 8 weeks now. It's a great class. I've spoke about it in the beginning when we first started. I'd love for you to go on the website and see what it's about and register. It is Community Emergency Response Team, and literally anyone can do it. We have every age group you can imagine taking part in it. It's a commitment. It's 3 hours a week, and it goes on for 9 weeks. But John Lukancic, who's running the program, makes it so fun and so informative. It really is a feeling of empowerment. The further we get into it, we're learning so much about helping our community in the case of a catastrophic event. So please look into it. It's really something that you will enjoy, and if nothing else, it'll help you protect yourself, your family, your neighbors, but be a part of the community as well. I want to also remind everybody that the Slammers have restarted. It's a fun, affordable family thing to do, so look into a game. Every time I go, we always have a great time, so look into it and support them. And then Happy Mother's Day again. To my mother, I love you, Happy Mother's Day, and to all the moms out there who've been great moms to all children and adults everywhere, so thank you.
Thank you. I just want to go over a couple things real quick. I do want to reiterate that the May 14th gathering for the Joliet Equitable Transit Oriented Development Plan open house will be at the Downtown Train Center. It's really a good time to go down and see what ideas have come up on how we urbanize our downtown. We really could use some people living downtown, and this plan can get us there. It was done by the RTA. Again, we're the only other city besides Chicago that has Pace, Metro, and Amtrak coming into one station. So, good thing to go see. Also, we're working on the comprehensive long-term plan with the committee. We've met 3 times. We've come up with a logo that kind of determines what we want to do with this plan. It's called Many Routes, One Future. It's really talks about, as you see here, the city has been here for 153 years. That's the tree that we have planted years and years ago. And we've got rail, and we've got water transportation, we've got road transportation. So we're just trying to figure out where that's going to take us to the future, and that's what this long-term comp plan is doing and has been doing. It probably will be a total 18-month project. We're into it for a couple months right now, so we've got a little bit more work to do. A lot more work to do. We will engage the community quite a bit. There's so many components of this that we want to make sure we get it right once. Public safety, quality of life, those are all the things on top of where is everybody going to live? How are we going to grow this city? Those are some of the things we're working on. A couple neat things that happened. On April 17th, I attended a special ceremony at Joliet Electric Motors to officially announce they've been acquired by Hitachi Industrial Holdings America, which is a significantly large international company that has now bought in to a Joliet business. They've done business with them together, and they've decided it's time to go ahead and partner up with a community business. So we're grateful to see an international company like that joining Joliet. Also went to the ribbon cutting for the new food pantry that is at the old Forest Park Community Center. And I gotta say, I've been involved in that Forest Park Community Center since I think 1993 or 4, when that was started by Louise Ray. That's been a real lighthouse in the community there, and will continue to do so to provide food for the residents in that area. Also, we celebrated Arbor Day on the lawn of the Edna Keith Elementary School. What a great event. The kids were all there. There was one lady dressed as a tree, pretty cool. And they planted a specific tree that is free of any disease. It's a new tree that was specifically designed so that, like the other elms that all got some sort of a disease, this won't. And it was pretty cool to see all these kids come out and help put that tree in the ground. Last but not least, I represented the city and the council for the retirement of a good friend of the community, Jim Rolfe. He has been in the city for over 50 years, working with the banking system, Union National, First Midwest, and now Old Second Bank. But Jim has been instrumental in the community for a long, long time. He's part of the long-term comprehensive plan and was voted unanimously as the chairman of that organization, or that group. So we just want to thank Jim for all he's done for the community. I too want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. My mother is 99 years old, and we are so blessed that she's still with us. Oh my. She was a teacher all of her life, and she still teaches me every day I see her every Sunday for sure. That concludes my report. I want to thank you all, and God bless Joliet, and God bless all of you. Thank you.
I did receive a request for closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition or conveyance, pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will adjourn?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Ibarra? Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.